There is a hidden battle happening every moment, one that many people are unaware of. It is not just a battle of actions, but a battle of the mind. The thoughts you entertain, the words you speak, and the emotions you hold all create energy. Energy that can be perceived, influenced, and even manipulated. Many people assume that their thoughts are private, locked away within their minds, safe from any external force. But what if that is not entirely true? What if unseen entities, dark forces that thrive on fear, doubt, and negativity, are listening, waiting for an opportunity to act? Throughout history, various spiritual traditions have spoken about unseen beings that influence human thoughts and emotions. These entities, often referred to as demons, do not have physical ears, yet they can sense the vibrations of the mind. They do not need to hear in the way humans do, because thoughts are not merely silent whispers within the brain. They are energy, and energy carries frequency. When you dwell on negativity, when you entertain fear, when you allow doubt to take root, you are broadcasting an invitation that these entities can detect. Demons do not need to physically read your mind. Instead, they sense your emotions, your intentions, and the energy you project. If you have ever noticed how a single negative thought can spiral into an overwhelming storm of doubt, worry, or fear, it is not always by chance. Sometimes unseen forces amplify these thoughts, feeding off the energy you create. The more you engage in destructive thinking, the stronger their influence can become. But how does this happen? How can a being without a physical body hear your thoughts? The answer lies in the nature of consciousness and energy. Every thought you think emits a frequency, just like sound waves or radio signals. High-frequency thoughts, such as love, gratitude, and faith, create a shield of spiritual strength, making it difficult for dark forces to connect. But low-frequency thoughts, such as fear, anger, self-doubt, and resentment, make it easier for negative entities to attach themselves to your energy field. Imagine walking into a room filled with music. If the music is uplifting, it changes your mood, makes you feel light, and fills you with peace. But if the music is dark, chaotic, and unsettling, it can affect your emotions in a negative way. The same principle applies to your thoughts. The vibrations you release through your mental and emotional state can either invite protection and strength or open doors to unwanted influences. This is why spiritual awareness is so important. Many people unknowingly allow these negative forces into their lives simply by the way they think. Constant worry, chronic fear, excessive anger. These emotions do more than affect your mood. They create an environment where dark energies can operate. These entities thrive on negativity because that is their nature. They are drawn to chaos, confusion, and suffering. When a person continually dwells in a negative mental state, it is like leaving the door open for intruders to walk in. However, there is good news. While demons may sense and amplify negativity, they have no real power over those who choose to resist. Awareness is the first step to breaking free from their influence. When you take control of your thoughts, when you elevate your energy, when you fill your mind with faith, courage, and light, their access to you becomes limited. Just as darkness cannot exist in the presence of light, negativity cannot dominate a mind that is filled with spiritual strength. It is essential to be mindful of what you think, what you dwell on, and what emotions you entertain. Protecting your mind is not just about avoiding bad thoughts. It is about actively cultivating thoughts that uplift, empower, and strengthen you. The mind is a powerful tool, but if left unguarded, it can become a battlefield. Every thought you choose either builds a fortress of protection or leaves you vulnerable to unseen forces. Understanding how demons listen and hear your thoughts is not meant to create fear, it is meant to create awareness. When you become aware of this unseen battle, you can take charge of your own mind and spiritual energy. You can choose what to allow into your mental space. You can choose what thoughts to nurture and what thoughts to discard. You can build a mindset so strong that no negative force can penetrate it. This is why spiritual discipline matters. Practices such as meditation, prayer, gratitude, and positive affirmations are not just self-improvement techniques. They are shields that guard your mind against unwanted influences. Every time you replace fear with faith, doubt with confidence, anger with love, you are taking back control. You are strengthening your mind against forces that want to see you weak. Demons may listen, but they do not have the final say. Your mind is your own, your energy is your own, and your destiny is in your hands. The moment you recognize your power is the moment you break free. The moment you choose light over darkness is the moment you close the doors they have been waiting to enter. The choice is yours. Stay aware, stay strong, and never underestimate the power of your own thoughts. Thoughts emit energy. Everything in existence carries energy. From the words we speak to the emotions we feel, everything generates a frequency that radiates beyond our physical body. Many people assume that their thoughts exist only inside their minds, confined to the space of their consciousness. But this is far from the truth. Thoughts are not silent, they are vibrations. They create an energy field that extends outward, affecting not only the person thinking them, but also the environment and the unseen realm. When you have a thought, it does not just stay within your brain. It carries a frequency, just like a sound wave or a radio signal. While humans cannot hear or perceive this frequency with their physical senses, spiritual beings, both light and dark, can detect it. This is why emotions and thoughts can change the energy of a room. If you have ever walked into a place where an argument just occurred, you may have sensed the tension, even if you were not there to witness it. That energy lingers. The same is true for your thoughts. They create an atmosphere around you, and unseen forces respond to that atmosphere. Higher vibrational thoughts, such as love, peace, gratitude, and faith, generate a powerful shield that repels negative influences. When you consistently dwell in these elevated states of mind, your energy field becomes strong, making it difficult for dark forces to affect you. On the other hand, lower vibrational thoughts such as fear, anger, jealousy, and doubt send out signals that attract negative energy. Just as light attracts light, darkness attracts darkness. When you remain in a state of prolonged negativity, you unknowingly create an energetic opening that invites demonic forces to latch onto your thoughts, influencing them further. Demons do not hear thoughts the way humans hear words. Instead, they sense the energy behind the thought. Imagine someone standing near a fire. They do not need to touch it to feel its heat. It radiates outward. The same principle applies to thoughts. If you constantly entertain negative thinking, that energy expands beyond your body, and spiritual entities that thrive on negativity can detect and interact with it. They do not need to read your mind to know what you are struggling with. They can sense it. This is why controlling your thoughts is so important. Every thought you dwell on either strengthens your spiritual protection or weakens it. When you engage in thoughts of fear, self-doubt, or hopelessness, you are sending out signals that make you more susceptible to external influence. Demonic entities seek to manipulate these thoughts, turning minor worries into overwhelming fear, small frustrations into deep anger, and fleeting insecurities into crippling self-doubt. They magnify the negativity that already exists within you, feeding off the energy it produces. However, Just as negativity attracts darkness, positivity repels it. When you make a conscious effort to shift your mindset, you change the energy you emit. Choosing faith over fear, love over hate, and peace over chaos strengthens your spiritual armor. This is why practices such as meditation, prayer, and gratitude are powerful. They elevate your energy, making it difficult for dark forces to interfere with your mind. Becoming aware of the energy your thoughts create is the first step in taking back control. If you find yourself stuck in a cycle of negative thinking, pause and shift your focus. Replace fearful thoughts with empowering ones. Transform doubt into confidence. Speak words of strength and encouragement to yourself. Every time you choose to elevate your thoughts, you weaken the influence of dark forces over your mind. Your thoughts are powerful. They are not just fleeting ideas in your head. They are forces that shape your reality and affect the spiritual world around you. By mastering your mind and directing your energy towards light and positivity, you take control of your spiritual space, ensuring that only forces of good can connect with you. Your energy is your responsibility. Protect it, guard it, and use it to create a life of strength and clarity. Demons thrive on negativity. Negativity is more than just an emotional state. It is an energy, a force that has the power to shape reality. Every thought and feeling you experience generates an energy field around you, and that energy determines what you attract into your life. Just as positivity strengthens and uplifts, negativity weakens and opens doors to darker influences. This is why demons thrive on negativity. They are drawn to it, feed on it, and use it as a tool to manipulate and control the minds of those who dwell in it. Demons are not physical beings, but they exist in an energetic realm that intersects with our own. Because they lack physical bodies, they rely on energy as their primary source of sustenance. Unlike positive spiritual forces which feed on love, faith, and gratitude, dark entities are nourished by fear, anger, hatred, despair, and self-doubt. These emotions produce low-frequency vibrations that match the frequency demons operate on. The more someone indulges in negativity, the more accessible they become to these entities. Have you ever noticed how negativity tends to multiply? A single negative thought, if entertained long enough, can spiral into overwhelming anxiety, anger, or sadness. This is not a coincidence. Demonic forces amplify negative emotions because it serves their purpose. If they can keep someone trapped in fear, self-doubt, or hatred, they can weaken that person's spiritual defenses, making it easier to exert influence over their thoughts and action. For example, when someone is afraid, their mind becomes clouded and their decision-making is impaired. Fear-based thinking leads to stress, confusion, and isolation, all of which create the perfect conditions for demonic interference. Similarly, prolonged anger turns into resentment, which hardens the heart and prevents healing. Self-doubt erodes confidence and makes people believe they are powerless, stripping them of the faith they need to resist dark forces. These emotions are not just personal struggles. They are entry points that demons use to gain influence. Negativity also distorts perception. When someone is consumed by negative emotions, they begin to see the world through a darkened lens. Everything seems hopeless. Problems appear bigger than they are, and even small inconveniences feel like personal attacks. This is how demons keep people trapped, by feeding them distorted thoughts that reinforce their suffering. They want people to believe that there is no escape, that they are alone, and that their struggles are insurmountable. In reality, these are illusions, created by prolonged exposure to negative energy. However, negativity does not just affect the mind, it affects the body as well. Studies have shown that prolonged stress, anxiety, and anger weaken the immune system, making people more vulnerable to illness. This is no accident. Spiritual weakness often manifests as physical weakness, and demons exploit this connection. When the mind and body are weakened by negativity, a person is less likely to fight back against the forces influencing them. The good news is that negativity can be overcome. Demons may thrive on it, but they cannot survive in an environment filled with positivity, faith, and inner strength. Just as darkness disappears when light enters a room, negative entities lose their grip when someone actively works to elevate their thoughts and emotions. Breaking free from negativity requires conscious effort. It means being aware of your thoughts and emotions, choosing to replace fear with courage, doubt with confidence, and hatred with love. It means refusing to dwell in toxic energy, even when circumstances try to pull you back into old patterns. Meditation, gratitude, and affirmations are not just mental exercises. They are spiritual tools that disrupt the cycle of negativity and weaken the hold of dark forces. Demons thrive on negativity because it is their lifeline, but the moment you refuse to feed them, their power over you begins to fade. By choosing positivity, resilience, and faith, you close the doors they once used to enter your mind. No matter how strong the darkness may seem, light is always stronger. When you take control of your thoughts and emotions, you reclaim your power and ensure that no force of negativity can dominate your life. They sense, not read. One of the biggest misconceptions about demonic forces is that they can read your mind like an open book. Many believe that their thoughts are private, locked away within their own consciousness, safe from external intrusion. But in reality, demons do not need to read your thoughts in the way humans read words on a page. Instead, they sense them. They perceive the energy behind your emotions, the vibrations of your mind, and the patterns of your thinking. This ability allows them to influence your thoughts and manipulate your emotions without ever needing to directly access your mind. Thoughts are not just silent ideas inside your head. They are frequencies, much like sound waves or radio signals. While people may not be able to hear them, spiritual entities operate in a different dimension where energy is felt, not heard. Demons do not need to know the exact words running through your mind. They only need to sense the emotions tied to them. Fear, anger, despair, and self-doubt produce low-frequency vibrations, which they can easily detect. They do not need to understand the specific details of your worries to know that you are anxious. The energy itself is enough for them to recognize an opportunity to interfere. This is why certain thoughts seem to spiral out of control. You may have a small doubt or fear, and suddenly it grows into something much larger, consuming your entire mindset. That is not always by accident. Demonic entities sense your fear and begin to amplify it. They introduce subtle suggestions that worsen your worries. You might start thinking, "What if I fail?" And before you know it, that thought has turned into full-blown panic, convincing you that you are destined for failure. This is how they work. They do not create your thoughts, but they manipulate and exaggerate them to keep you in a state of weakness. They also recognize patterns. Demons are extremely intelligent and have observed human behavior for centuries. They know what triggers fear, insecurity, and doubt in people. If you constantly worry about not being good enough, they will sense that pattern and reinforce it. They will push circumstances or thoughts into your mind that make you feel even worse about yourself. If anger is your weakness, they will fuel your frustration with reminders of past pain and injustices. They use the energy you emit to craft situations and thoughts that keep you trapped in negativity. Another way they manipulate thoughts is by influencing the subconscious mind. The subconscious is where deeply rooted beliefs, fears, and habits reside. Demons understand that if they can plant a negative belief deep within your subconscious, it will continue to affect you without you even realizing it. This is why overcoming negative thought patterns is so difficult. Many of them have been reinforced over time, often without conscious awareness. However, just as demons can sense negative energy, they are also repelled by positive energy. When you shift your mindset toward faith, confidence, and love, your energetic frequency rises, making it harder for them to attach to you. They cannot manipulate what they cannot access. If your thoughts are filled with strength, self-belief, and spiritual clarity, their ability to interfere weakens significantly. The key to breaking free from their influence is awareness. Recognizing that your thoughts are being sensed, not read, gives you power. It means you can take control by choosing what kind of energy you emit. If you feel fear creeping in, shift your focus to courage. If doubt starts to consume you, reaffirm your faith in yourself. Every time you raise your vibration, you make it harder for dark forces to manipulate you. You are not powerless in this battle. Your thoughts, when controlled with intention, become a shield against unwanted influences. Demons may sense emotions, but they cannot dominate a mind that is disciplined, strong, and filled with light. The more you take control of your thoughts, the less control they have over you. Negative cycles are amplified. Every thought you entertain has the potential to grow. A single negative thought, if left unchecked, can spiral into a pattern of doubt, fear, and hopelessness. This is not by accident. Dark forces thrive on repetition, feeding on the cycles of negativity that keep a person trapped in their own mind. Once they sense a weakness, they do not just observe it, they amplify it. They take a single moment of fear and turn it into paranoia, a simple doubt, and stretch it into self-sabotage. Demonic entities do not create thoughts, but they know how to manipulate them. If you have ever found yourself overthinking to the point of exhaustion, unable to break free from a pattern of worry, you may have experienced this interference. You may think you are simply being hard on yourself, but in reality, negative energy is being intensified around you. Demons work in subtle ways, making you believe that the weight of your thoughts is completely your own. But the reason negative thoughts feel so overwhelming is because they are being echoed back at you, magnified by unseen forces. The more you engage in negativity, the stronger the cycle becomes. This is why some people find it almost impossible to break free from destructive thought patterns. The moment they try to think positively, an opposing thought arises whispering, "It won't work," or "You're wasting your time." These are not just self-doubts, they are implanted reinforcements meant to keep a person trapped. Demonic forces use fear, insecurity, and past traumas as tools to pull people deeper into a state of helplessness. However, just as negative cycles can be amplified, so can positive ones. When you make a conscious effort to replace destructive thoughts with empowering ones, you weaken the grip of dark influences. At first, it may feel unnatural, even forced, but with consistency, the energy begins to shift. The key is awareness. Recognizing when your thoughts are being manipulated and refusing to let negativity control your mind. The moment you break the cycle, you take back your power, making it harder for any force to keep you in a state of fear or doubt. Spiritual protection is key. In a world filled with unseen forces, your greatest defense is spiritual protection. Demonic entities do not just randomly attach themselves to people. They seek out those who are vulnerable, those whose minds are unguarded, and whose emotions fluctuate in negativity. The stronger your spiritual protection, the harder it is for dark forces to influence your thoughts, emotions, and decisions. Just as you would lock the doors of your home to keep intruders out, You must also guard your mind and spirit against energies that seek to weaken you. Spiritual protection is not about superstition or fear. It is about maintaining a state of strength, clarity, and awareness. Dark entities feed on fear, doubt, and negativity, but they cannot thrive in an environment filled with faith, confidence, and love. When you cultivate a mindset of inner peace and certainty, you create an energetic barrier that makes it difficult for negative forces to penetrate. The key is understanding that your spiritual strength is in your control. You are not powerless against unseen forces. You have the ability to dictate what kind of energy surrounds you. One of the most powerful ways to protect yourself is through mindfulness. Being aware of your thoughts, emotions, and surroundings allows you to detect when something feels off. If you notice persistent negative thoughts, unexplained fear, or a sense of heaviness in your energy, it may be a sign that outside forces are trying to influence you. Instead of ignoring these feelings, confront them with intention. Choose to shift your thoughts toward positivity, gratitude, and self-empowerment. Demonic forces thrive in darkness, but they cannot survive in the presence of light. Another essential form of protection is maintaining emotional balance. When you allow emotions like anger, resentment, or fear to control you, you open doors for negative entities to latch onto those energies. This does not mean suppressing your emotions. It means learning to process them in a healthy way. Instead of dwelling on anger, seek resolution. Instead of feeding fear, cultivate courage. Every time you choose peace over chaos, you reinforce your spiritual shield. Faith and intention also play a critical role in protection. Whether through prayer, meditation, or affirmations, focusing your mind on higher vibrations strengthens your energetic field. Words have power, and speaking words of strength, love, and resilience into your life actively repels negativity. Just as a flame consumes darkness, a strong belief in your spiritual authority burns away negative interference. Your environment matters as well. The people you surround yourself with, the content you consume, and the places you frequent all contribute to your spiritual atmosphere. If you constantly engage in negativity, whether through toxic relationships, violent entertainment, or destructive habits, you lower your vibrational energy, making it easier for dark forces to influence you. Being mindful of what you allow into your life is just as important as guarding your thoughts. Breaking free from demonic influence does not require fear, it requires awareness and action. The moment you take control of your thoughts, emotions, and environment, you make it harder for dark forces to manipulate you. Spiritual protection is not something you seek outside of yourself. It is something you build within. By choosing strength, clarity, and faith, you create a shield that no negative force can penetrate. Darkness cannot overpower those who stand in their light, and when you cultivate your inner light, you ensure that no force can take control of your mind or spirit. The power of awareness, breaking free from unseen influence. The mind is the greatest battlefield in the unseen spiritual realm. Every thought, emotion, and belief we entertain has the potential to shape our reality. For those unaware of the forces that operate beyond the physical world, it may seem as though all thoughts originate purely from within. But as we have explored, this is not the case. Dark entities do not need to read minds to manipulate them. They simply need to sense emotions, recognize patterns, and amplify negativity. The key to breaking free from their influence is awareness, discipline, and the conscious effort to take control of one's thoughts. When we understand that our thoughts are not always our own, we take the first step toward regaining control. Demons work through deception. They whisper doubts, reinforce fears, and amplify weaknesses, all while making it seem as though these emotions are coming from us. But the truth is, they only have power where they are given permission. By recognizing their influence and refusing to accept negative thoughts as truth, we take back authority over our own minds. This is not a battle of strength, but of awareness. The more conscious we are of our thoughts, the less control they have over us. One of the most common tactics of demonic forces is to use emotions as a gateway. Fear, doubt, anger, and despair create an energetic opening for them to attach. Once they recognize a weakness, they work to keep a person trapped in that emotional state. Have you ever noticed how a single negative thought can quickly spiral into a series of overwhelming emotions? This is not always natural. It is often a deliberate effort to keep you distracted, lost in your own mind. But just as negative cycles can be amplified, so can positive ones. The moment you shift your focus from fear to faith, from doubt to confidence, you weaken their influence. Every thought carries energy. When we choose to dwell on negative thoughts, we feed them power. But when we intentionally shift our mindset, we create a protective barrier around our consciousness. This is why self-discipline is so crucial. Demons do not need to force anyone to think negatively. They only need to encourage patterns that already exist. If a person struggles with self-worth, they will reinforce those insecurities. If someone carries deep-seated anger, they will fuel it with reminders of past pain. But once you become aware of these manipulations, you can break free from their grip. You do not have to accept every thought as truth. You have the power to reject what does not serve you and replace it with something stronger. The power of repetition is another weapon used by dark forces. If you hear something often enough, it becomes embedded in your subconscious. This is why demons do not just whisper doubts once. They repeat them over and over until they feel like your own inner voice. But the same principle can be used to combat their influence. By repeating affirmations of strength, by speaking words of faith and confidence, you reprogram your mind to resist negativity. Your thoughts create your reality, and when you take charge of what you allow into your consciousness, you reclaim your power. Another critical aspect of protection is guarding your environment. What you consume, the people you surround yourself with, and the energies you engage with all shape your mental and spiritual state. Many people unknowingly invite negativity into their lives through entertainment, conversations, and even the places they frequent. Demons do not always need to whisper in your ear. They can work through external influences that reinforce negativity. This is why it is so important to be mindful of your surroundings. Choosing uplifting influences, seeking wisdom, and surrounding yourself with positivity create a shield against unseen forces. Stillness and reflection are powerful tools in this battle. Many people avoid silence because it forces them to confront their inner world. But when we sit in stillness, we gain clarity. We begin to separate our true selves from intrusive thoughts. Meditation, prayer, and self-reflection help us recognize when something feels unnatural, allowing us to reclaim control over our minds. The more we cultivate this awareness, the harder it becomes for dark forces to manipulate us. Emotional triggers are another tool used by demons to disrupt awareness. When people react out of anger or fear, they become more susceptible to manipulation. This is why it is essential to practice emotional control. Instead of reacting impulsively, pause. Question your emotions. Are they truly yours, or are they being amplified by an external influence? The moment you take control of your reactions, you disrupt their ability to manipulate you. This is not suppression, it is mastery. When you learn to process emotions without allowing them to control you, you become immune to manipulation. Ultimately, awareness is the key to spiritual protection. The more conscious you are of your thoughts, emotions, and surroundings, the less influence dark forces have over you. This is not about fear. It is about empowerment. You are not at the mercy of unseen forces. You have the ability to take control of your mind, to reject negativity, and to choose a path of clarity and strength. Demons rely on ignorance, on people remaining unaware of their tactics, but the moment you become aware, their power over you begins to crumble. You are not powerless in this battle. The mind is a fortress, and you hold the keys to its gates. By choosing to be conscious of your thoughts, by refusing to accept negativity as truth, and by reinforcing your spiritual strength, you create a shield that no darkness can penetrate. Demonic forces may try to influence, but they cannot dominate a mind that is disciplined, aware, and filled with light. Your thoughts shape your reality. The power to break free from manipulation lies within you. The more you cultivate awareness, the stronger you become. The more you take control of your consciousness, the less control any force, seen or unseen, can have over you. Light cannot be overshadowed by darkness unless it allows itself to be dimmed. The moment you stand firm in your awareness, you reclaim your power, and in that power, no darkness can prevail.